What's up, y'all? I'm Ryan. This is So and So Farms, and we are putting up levees today. It's my soda rattling that you hear, my ice in my cup. Get on the 8335R, and we're expecting some rain. So we are getting our levees built. And we're making some pretty good progress. Really hazy and foggy and humid. I don't know what the weather's gonna do. Looked like rain at about 3 o'clock today, but hopefully not. You see over there, it's just pretty hazy. Field is still a little bit tacky and wet, but we're managing with what we got. You do the first pass and then you kick the seeder on. We have seed in there because we plant the levees and we actually harvest them. You figure 12 feet across a field, 6 times, quarter mile long. I mean, it amounts to acres. So we do plant these levees. It's actually a pretty satisfying job. I like when the rice is good and green and the levees are dark brown. It's just cool looking across there. This field does have straight levees. That means that it's actually pretty smooth with the fall. We'll build these levees, and then Matt and Robert are probably coming behind me putting in the levee gates, and we'll try to get a little footage of that. Well, we're over here in some curvier levees now. These fields need corrections. Still good fields, still grow good rice. You just gotta move your levees with the lay of the land. So my levee mark goes all the way down there and back up, so I just split right through the middle of it. I'll try to ease over that way a little bit. But when you mark these levees, you got a little more idea how they're going, how wild the field was jumping up and down. If you were just gradual swooping, you know that the level was pretty even across there. Just got to kind of ride with it, but making some progress here, trying to beat some rain. A couple more levees to go in this field. I've only ran all these one time, so I got to come back and seed them. It's a 2-pass deal. One pass throws them up, second pass gets them taller, plus puts the seed on them. You want to have good tall levees. You don't want water going over the top of them. You don't want them washing out. That is a pain in the neck all year. So we try to throw up good tall levees here. Just jumping right over into the next field, doing it too. Like I said, just trying to make the best out of the line, just split the differences where I can. When in doubt, I stay on the high side, which would be the high side of the field. So it's a little bit of an art, but you can kind of tell these fields are split, but a lot of the levees are coming to the same spot because they were graded together. So we split the field to farm it, that way we can drive up the middle and go to the well and do a little, different crop rotation on them if we want to. You don't really want to put everything in the same crop, have all your eggs in one basket, because if something goes wrong back here, then it goes wrong on everything. So if like we got a rice disease, it may hit everything, or whatever the case might be, but kind of just keep things rotated and split. But then we also have to balance wanting to keep the same crop close. That way when you come to harvest, you're knocking out a bunch of acres at once instead of bouncing all over the country. So a lot of planning goes into this stuff. Our agronomist helps us do that. Shane and I kind of put our heads together in the beginning of the year and try to figure it out. Then too, we're picking up some ground, and it's hard to make our own plan when we're trying to fall into somebody else's pattern. So I don't know, it's just a balance balancing act. It's doable. We got a few levies left in these 2 fields. This is about 80 total acres, and then I'll run some outside levies. When we get these corrections run, we like to get we'll have one on this one if we ever get a correction run, but a crown road all the way around the field. That way we don't have to have an outside levee. Combines and sprayers can jump in and out of there without having to climb over a levee. It just makes life a whole lot simpler. So that's the plan if we ever get corrections ran out here. It's a double plow. Got 2 levee plows on it, so essentially by the time we go over it twice, it's made 4 trips with a plow. Been trying to curve my ends off here because it's a lot easier to butt these levees up. Butting them means just coming up. I'll make an outside levee through here, and butting them will just come and, you know, seal up in between the 2 levees where they meet at. All the intersections will have a gap there, and we'll bring a front end loader and butt that up, which we're having an issue right now with the front end loader because ours is in the shop. Our 6115D is in the shop, and we're trying to find one to borrow. Hate borrowing, but also this is where we had the underground pipe put in. We're going to stay off of it this year with tractors and combines because we do not want to sink and fall in there. Fairly straight levee here. If you pay attention to the mark and just bust right through the middle, it's pretty straight. I think this one wraps on around the field. It may not. No, it doesn't. It just goes up here to the corner. So I'm seeing like a little wet spot right here. I'm just going to ride high around it. I always want to stay to the high side of the wet spots. And then try to get back up with my line here. May have a little hole on this end of the field too. So let's just kind of wet here. Let's just ease on around it and end our levee in a good spot. And we want to cut off and leave room for the outside levee in the road here. You're always trying to think and plan, and we'll run an outside levee. We'll have to leave enough room to get a bush hog down through here and everything else, so I'll run my levee somewhere around out here when I do my outside one. Then I try to curl my levee around, that way I can, number one, blend in the outside levee well, and then have plenty of dirt with the front end loader. To patch it up, to butt it up. I'm not going to run my outside levee yet because I've still got to run these for a second time. The pumping station there, we kind of need to clean it up. Got a bunch of junk gathering, but we'll get it all. We will get it all. Battery's about to die and I don't have another one with me, so I may have to pick you back up tomorrow. Another day, another dollar. We are back on the levee plow this morning. It's about 6:15. I couldn't sleep in this morning, had too much on my mind that I needed to get done. So came out here and jumped on the tractor with some nutrition. Anyhow, I've got a 50, 100, a 40, another 150. So 150 and 150. I've got about 340 acres I need to pull levees on. I won't get it all today. Some of it's still too wet down on the Arkansas side of things. We farm in 3 counties and 2 states. Sounds like a lot, but I measured the other day on Google Earth and we're like 14 miles between our furthest north and furthest south farms, so it's not really all that bad. Seems like it takes a long time to get around on county roads, but there's the levees we pulled yesterday, the last field we did here. Pile of poly pipe to be recycled because we are green farmers, not just green paint, green everything. So anyway, let's get after it.
Start it up, Robert.
Dealing with breakdowns. That ain't supposed to be broke off of there.
Put it in here and let it down some. Got jack. The front of the chain come on the port.
I've got another chore I want to go get done. Robert and Matt are working on the levee plow. We had some ditches that the drainage district came and dug out on one of our farms, and they had to pile the dirt on the road, which is fine. It just builds our road up, but it's pretty rough. So I'm going to go hook onto this 10-foot 3-point disc that we bought and smooth those roads up so we can drive on them all summer. Some of our 3-point equipment out here, but we bought this 10-foot disc to disc up levees. Usually we tear them down with a teardown plow, but we're going to try to disc them this year, and that way we can land plane them, kind of get rid of them easier. So we're going to go hook up to it. Disc that road up. If this tractor matches up, I don't think it does. Yeah, it might. This is what we're doing. The drainage district, we have a board that handles all the drainage stuff around here, because our part of the world actually used to be swamp, and it was all drained and ditches ran all over, and they're kind of numbered 1, 2, 3 around here. We got 3 big ditches that drain the county. So they dipped this ditch out along the roadside, piled it all up here, which is good. It helps keep us drained. But we just got to come through and do a little maintenance behind them, disc these roads down. There'll be some stumps and some old pipe, poly pipe that they pulled out of the ditch. Nothing too major. Main thing is just get it where we can drive around the beans and check our crop. So what I'm doing here, pulling a little 3-point disc. It's doing a good enough job. I really need to make some adjustments to it, but I'm just kind of doing this in between pulling levees. Matt and them are fixing my levee plow, so I had an hour to kill. So I came out here and got on this. So as you can see, just working it down. Then I'll come back later with the Killifer blade, big box blade, pull type box blade, and I'll shape this all up and smooth it out. Not really trying to get it perfect right now, just trying to get it passable with a tractor. Like I said, that's really all I'm looking to accomplish. So, get it done. That chore's done. We're gonna head back. Got some poly pipe stuck on my disc. Got a little tweaking to do this disc before we use it, but we're gonna head back to the shop and grab the levee plow. Hopefully they're getting it finished up right about now. We're in the 8270. Bought this 3-point disc this year. Found it on Facebook Marketplace. It seemed like a pretty good deal. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, we're going to try disking our levees down this year instead of tearing them down. That way we can land plane them and burn the field off, and we just got a slick field, and we can run our bedder and plant beans without having to disc it, all that stuff, land plane it, disc the entire field. We'll just do the levees. So that's the tentative plan. Hopefully it works, because that could save us a lot of trips. A lot of guys around here do that, or some guys around here do that. We just got to find a way to make our system work. We're all running the same race, we just take different routes to get to the finish line. And I like to watch the guys around me. There's a lot of good operators around us that I like, you know, a little bit of what each person does, and you try to take that and make it your own. And maybe one day somebody will watch what we do and try to make it their own. I don't know. But yeah, pretty decent day. It looks a little murky out. We didn't end up getting any rain last night, but I don't think we're gonna miss the ones tonight. I think it's about a 90% chance tonight, but we missed the 90 already this year, so who knows. We'll take it, we'll leave it, whatever. We'll adjust, adapt, and overcome. We're doing a lot of rice spraying right now. Everybody's got grass in their rice. Pretty much everybody's spraying. That's a tough thing. You don't want grass. Excuse me. You don't want grass in your rice. Grass in your rice is just competition, and it will choke it out and yield. It will cut your yield in half. That's big. So we fight the good fight. Spray it when they tell us. It's going over our rice. Spraying it this time, I'm not afraid to say it, will cost us about $30,000. So there are some really big financial decisions being made at this point in the year, whether we show that or not. And I know it's not just us feeling it. I mean, you got to do it, but that hurts. I mean, that pays for a lot of people's vehicles just for chemical on the ground to keep the grass from growing. So